Stephen and Scruffy, the Fat Controller had already gathered all the other engines in his meeting. He was telling them all about what Douglas told him about what Den and Dart were up to last night with the troublesome trucks. This is why I gathered you all here, he said. If we're going to put an end to this misery, we're going to do that right now. Yes, sir, said Douglas. I was there last night with Toad, and like you've told me, I did bring him back. That's good, said the Fat Controller. It's good that he's still here. Maybe we should have found them and then tell them what they were up to. Then I think we'll try and do that, said the Fat Controller. All the engines came up with good ideas to stop Den and Dart from causing the troublesome trucks their miseries. Meanwhile, a few minutes later, however, the meeting took way too long, and it started to make Stephen feel a little bit bored. This is boring, he said. I think I'm going to have to go. Stephen was out of the yards and then went to shunt some trucks. He found at the docks where the other trucks, Scruffy and all the other quarry trucks, even the blue brake van as well. Wow, said Stephen. I guess shunting trucks in the yards should be fun for a while, he said. No, that would take my mind off that boring meeting, he said. He buffered up. Just then, however, he banged the trucks too hard. Oh, 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 screeched Scruffy and the trucks. We don't like you, they said. Well, you're all just going to have to get used to me, said Stephen. This should be fun. The trucks decided a plan. I know, said Scruffy. We pull him off the tracks. We pull him off the tracks with us. We'll do it, said the trucks. They went on the bumpy track, and then they started to pull Stephen. Help! Help! He cried. What's going on? Don't you realize what we're doing to you? Said Scruffy. We're gonna pull you off the rails. Help! Cried Stephen. But his wheels couldn't plough his brakes. Suddenly there was more trouble. The turntable at the engine sheds was broken today, so the workmen were working on it. Suddenly they realised the trucks were coming towards them, and they took cover. Then there was more trouble. The trucks crashed into the turntable. Wow. And suddenly, the trucks took Stephen with them, and Stephen was off the tracks and into the turntable. Poor Stephen was derailed. Stones and rubble was everywhere. The turntable was jammed, and Stephen's tender was on the turntable well, and Stephen was on top of the turntable. The turntable was now broken. Poor Stephen was stuck. Meanwhile, however, Flynn the fire engine was about to go back to the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre. He saw what happened to the turntable. This can't be happening, he said. The rails were slippery, and then Flynn fell off the turntable. Wow! The engines were all derailed, and then they were as well stuck on the turntable well, and they all couldn't move. When the accident was over, the Fat Controller rushed to the scene of destruction, and then spoke kindly to Stephen. You will deserve to go to the works to have a new coat of paint, he said. Thank you, sir, said Stephen. I hope I'll deserve it.
You will, said the Fat Controller. And Flynn, you'll deserve to go to the works to have some to get your wheels mended for a while.
Thank you, said Flynn. Flynn knew it was his reward.
And this time, said the Fat Controller, you shouldn't have gotten away. You shouldn't have escaped from my meeting. Stephen, said the Fat Controller.
I know, said Stephen. I won't do it again. And Stephen knew he had to admit that he was away from the Fat Controller's meeting to be meeting his doom by Scruffy the truck. By meeting his doom with Scruffy the truck. Everybody knew that it was a big day for the island of Sodor.